da on An Gof. Linda. Dinner in Llanefron. And yeah, good morning and welcome to St Keverne on this another June the 27th. The years go by. This is very, very different this year, as we all know. A lot of unrest about, a lot of disquiet amongst the populace. So probably very similar to what was happening in 1497. And I often think, how did people know all about what was going on? How did they all link up and come from all corners to gather and to follow Michael Joseph and Flamank? Did they say we're meeting up Bodmin? Or they didn't have no social media, no telephone, nothing like that. And I mean, these were remarkable people. And it's very easy to say, oh, they marched to London. Well, that is no mean feat, as one or two people here know, and especially in those times. So we're here to remember Michael Joseph An Gof, blacksmith of St Keverne, son of St Keverne, Thomas Flamank there, and this wonderful work of art that was produced by Terence Coventry, and I think is probably his greatest work of art. I think it's a wonderful thing, and we are so lucky to have it. And well, we all know the story. They went to London trying to right a lot of wrongs as they saw it, and it came in the end to Michael Joseph, Thomas Flamank, being hanged, drawn and quartered. But he did say, on his way to the gallows, I shall have a name perpetual and fame permanent and immortal. And there's the immortality there, and I hope it would live on through the generations that we have and that we are. So thank you everyone for coming. We haven't finished yet. And it's lovely to see faces that we haven't seen for a while, and it was great. Hopefully next year we'll be back to normal. So we're going to start off our proceedings. Well, we're going to start with, I think Colin is going to read the inscription which is on the plaque down in front of the church, and he's going to read it in Cornish and English translation. Colin Roberts from over a million.
Somebody got a live there. Johefis gans mebyn Kerno, Mil Nansek, Cans Way Ha Triagans, erected by Mebyn Kerno, 1966. The Corv ha Michael Joseph ha Thomas Flamank, Hembryn Kissy ha Lou Kinuic, ha Gesgurthas bis Thulondra, ha Cothel the Dillons. Methevin mil Peswa can Zatek ha Peswa Uggans. Ias Tevith Hanno a Bes Benaitha a Bri Fur Hep Merwell. In English, in memory of Michael Joseph the Smith and Thomas Flamank, leaders of the Cornish host, who marched to London and suffered vengeance there. June 1497, they shall have a name permanent and immortal.
Thank you, Colin. Now, if you've got your words there, and we'll sing Broke Off. Broke off again, tassel the pleasures of corn, will stir and hell saddest, and roll you the bar. War and harvest, all in skies always, may dragon parents love you please. And oh, Now we have a wonderful wreath here behind me. Pardon? Oh, biography. Biography first by Karen.
Michael Joseph An Gof, a short biography, which you can hear again in Cornish this afternoon at 3 o'clock on the An Gof website, read by Esther Johns. Well, what do we know of Michael Joseph? He came from the artisan class, and his lack of wealth left no paper trail. Contemporary written sources tell us only that he was a blacksmith who came from St Keverne, and the title An Gof, which denoted his trade, the smith. Michael Joseph may not have had the advantages of education and wealth that his fellow leader Thomas Flamank had, lawyer of Bodmin, but in the smaller, close-knit world of his parish, he would have been a man of some standing. With an estimated population of nearly 300 men, mainly involved in farming and fishing, the forge would have been the hub of village life. He would have made and repaired the implements and tools essentials for most livelihoods. Much talk and discussion would have taken place at the forge fire. He would have walked our paths, fished in our seas, and worshipped in our church. He was a man who undoubtedly inspired trust, and he became the people's chosen leader, known by many as the Captain of Cornwall. He was a natural leader of men. In early summer 1497, he left the home that he knew so well and began the long march to London, gathering followers along the way to petition Henry VII for relief from the grievous tax burden of his Scottish wars. Although comments about him must be read with care, his actions certainly speak for themselves. He must have been charismatic, able to persuade and promote loyalty amongst his followers. He was someone the Cornish could look up to, and his natural tongue would have been Cornish. He could communicate fully with those whose first and possibly only language was Cornish. He maintained discipline amongst the men, and they were well supported by the people in places through which they passed. He was certainly brave and dedicated. On the eve of battle, the London City Chronicler tells us that when some of the rebels wanted to throw themselves on the king's mercy, the smith was of contrary mind. Even after the battle, having been captured, he never faltered, for Michael Joseph held as good a countenance and spake as boldly to the people as if he had been at liberty. Finally, when being drawn on a hurdle towards Tyburn to face execution, he gloried in what he had done and boasted that he should have a name perpetual and a fame permanent and immortal. Every 27th of June, we seek to fulfill this brave Cornishman's last words. Kerno Bisviken.
Whereas, Karen, I seem to have got this a little back to front here. I've got Samuel now. I think this is correct. Samuel, to come and lay the wreath, please. We normally do this, as you know, down in front of the church. This year is different. Samuel Francis. No, or up top. we will now have a minute's silence. We have some flowers from the garden, and Jacob Richards will put them on the thing right by the anvil. Well done. Thank you. Right, now we were supposed to finish with We Remember You, weren't we? Shall we do Trelawney?
Yes.
No? What else now?
Sing We Remember You.
Oh, we've done. Oh, that was a practice.
That was the practice.
Who's editing this? We remember you, though in defeat, though we are weary and the day seems dumb, and God, we will remember you. We remember you as centuries fall, when others right is turner's wrong, and God, we will remember you. We remember you when our regrets make us forget that we are one, and God, we will remember you. We remember you when distant hearts in arrogance forget we're strong, and God, we will remember you. Miraz Braz, An Gof. I think that is the conclusion, but thank you so much for turning up. Thank you everyone for recording it. And Ellis there, who's kindly doing his stuff. Thank you very much. And that we'll have a record for the History Society and St Keverne Facebook page and Agan Tavis. So, unfortunately, no, we're not going for a concert and a pasty and a pint down in the parish hall.
But come back next year.
Yes, but we will be here with 10 times as many next year. So thank you so much. Right, what do we do now?
Trelawney.
Oh, do you want Trelawney before we go? Yeah.
Oh,
Ragnar.
the good sword and the trusty hand, the merry heart and true. King James's men shall understand what Cornish lads can do, and have they fixed the word and shall Trelawney die 20,000 Cornish men will know the reason why. And shall Trelawney live, or shall Trelawney die? It's 20,000 Cornish men will know the reason why. Oh, spake their captain brave and bold and very white was he. If London Tower Michael's hold, we'll set Trelawney free. We'll cross the Tamar land to land, the Severn is no stay. With one and all and hand in hand, and who shall hear us nay? And shall Trelawney live, or shall Trelawney die? His 20,000 Cornish men will know the reason why. And when we come to London, there's a sight to view. Come forth, ye cowards all, here's better men than you. Trelawney is in keep and hold, Trelawney he may die. Here's 20,000 Cornish bold will know the reason why. And shall Trelawney live, or shall Trelawney die? Here's 20,000 Cornish men will know the reason why. Come on! Reason why. Come on!
Well, this is a way, isn't it? It's like, that's it. Whereas normally